Good afternoon. It is Thursday, January 1st, 2026, and this is both your weekly update and your year in review. All right, so let's just get started. It is 55 degrees here right now in the middle of nowhere. We have had frost for 2 nights in a row. One night, my water line froze because it's not insulated. It's just wrapped up, but it's not insulated. So that's cold for this side of the universe. I saw frost on the ground for 2 days in a row. I haven't seen frost beyond when I went back to my own universe, which would happen for 4 months at a time. I don't get it. So, seeing my breath in the morning with my coffee is kind of going, yeah, I'm home. And the other answer is, I'm not quite home, but I'm safe. All right. So, year in review. I posted it earlier. 2025. Everything is gay, woke, lame, and fake. It is. 2026 is going to be everything I just said and violent. I really have that fear right there. But in no particular order. What do I remember from 2025? When I put my Periscope up and took a look, what do I remember? I'm going to go close to home. Northeast PA and New Jersey. Where did the drones come from? They were there, then they weren't, and there's only 2 things in New Jersey, Picatinny Arsenal and Fort Dix. Where are the drones coming from? And then they would fly around and everybody was all panicked, and then suddenly somebody came out and said, oh yeah, it was a big thing. Some hobbyists were doing it and everything else. I can tell you this. If that was in Luzerne County, Pennsylvania, Sussex County, New Jersey, Warren County, New Jersey, part of Hunterdon, New Jersey, I'll tell you what would happen. Bang! No camera over my house. Shoot, shovel, and shut up. That's enough of that. Real people, real solutions that are functional. Now, if that was in Morris County, sorry, Carrie, I know you were raised in Morris County, or beyond that, okay, and I will say what I just said is possible in some very far spaces of Camden County, Atlantic County, Burlington County. They're very long counties. But the closer you get to the river, the Delaware River, and Morris County, Essex County, Passaic County, it's all, I don't know what to do. I hate myself. I'm white. It's just all that mess. They would just say the government has to help me. The government of New Jersey. You just elected a Navy cheat over a socialist. If they're going to throw you a rope, it's going to be a noose. What are you talking about? Ugh. Again, 2025. Here we go. What else do I remember? Boats being blown up with drugs on them. They're fishing boats. Wait. I worked on boats, remember, guys? 6.7-ton boats. Flat-topped catamarans. They had holds for and boxes for things like life preservers. These boats had 250 horsepower outboard motors and could reach a clock speed of about 40 knots on a good day with the wind working with you. So how can a boat with no hold, flat topped, have four 450 horsepower outboard motors which will reach a clock speed of 100 knots or more, be fishing boats? Where's the nets? Where's the crane for the nets? Where's the fish? And the boats I was on were United States Coast Guard regulated. Caveat, the houseboats and the skiffs were not. So how can a 48 soul plus a first mate and a captain boat only need 500 horsepower on a good day? And that's full out, have fun, when we're not fishing. And these boats need 1,500 horsepower, but don't have any sign of any fishing gear anywhere. Don't believe what you see or you hear. Believe what they tell you. Oh, I don't believe what they tell me. Let's see, what else do I remember? A lot of protests, a lot of angry people when the Periscope went up. I remember weakling thugs running behind the police and the police protecting them. Portland comes to mind. Chicago comes to mind. New York City comes to mind. But I don't remember the police doing anything about the misbehavior beyond blaming other people pointing it out. What else do I remember from 2025? I remember a lot of people misbehaving and being yappity, 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 and going to court, and then suddenly there's procedural errors. If you hire competent people, you won't get procedural errors. If you don't hire competent people, you're hiring people who want to let the criminals go. I remember that. I know that if I signed a mortgage contract and said my brother was my wife, I would be in handcuffs and in jail right now. But when some chick in New York signs on a property that's not theirs, not in the state they work, and they have to live in the state they work, and says their father is their husband, there's a procedural error. Are you tired of this? I'm really tired of this, man. It shouldn't be happening. I mean, at this point in time, I'll tell you, okay? I am so tired of watching in 2025 when somebody who's a minority, a woman, or an ideology, any ideology you want to pick that is not part of our ideology, they get picked up and they get special treatment, a warm cookie, a coloring book, and an apology from an activist judge. And they're sent home in enough time to steal dinner. But I know if it was me, look at the color of my skin. Look at my age. Okay, look at my orientation. I'm straight, guys. We all knew this. If it was me, I would be nursing a nightstick wound in a cell, waiting for the docket to clear 2 weeks from now, and if I walked in, the activist judge would say, "Guilty!" before I even opened my mouth. Angry enough yet? I remember in 2025 a number of train derailments, plane issues, car issues, trucks Trucks killing people. And the guy running the truck ain't from here. Got a translator, get his CDL, shows no signs of remorse, and can't speak the goddamn language. And they put him on the road. 80,000 pounds, not counting velocity or anything else. And you either are wearing a tablecloth on your head or a turban on your head. Or you can't, you're not, and you just can't speak the language. How do you understand what a stop means on a stop sign if you can't speak the English language? But it felt so good. Or someone got paid. Angry enough yet? I remember a lot of things in 2025 where there were people on the TV. And they would simply edit their programming to push a narrative. Not a fact. And then they cried and yelled, "Why doesn't anybody believe us?" Because you lied. Because you lied. You know, who's that fellow? The unfunny fellow. What is his name? Hang on. He was with Adam Carolla on Jimmy Kimmel. I remember him doing all his nonsense. And yet, somehow this guy, what's his name? The guy with the white beard. Damn it. Brandon Carr, the head of the FCC, can't get these guys off the TV because they're busting their license. Why isn't it happening? Why does things take so long to do? You're not just making a goddamn milkshake. Let's go. Let's move. It just doesn't seem to happen. Again, 2025. Get less, pay more, stop whining, and get used to it. And the answer should be no, 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 and no. 2025. What else did I see? Collapse of fiat currency, increase in precious metals. Anytime I see gold and silver and copper and platinum and palladium climb into the sky, I realize, oh crap, my groceries are going up. Because precious metals go up, this goes down. And that usually means prices go up. I don't know why beef is so expensive. I guess they just hate us and they don't want us to eat, right? I don't know. What's next? Are we going to go through the second round of some guy in a suit going, "Your chickens look sick, kill the whole flock"? Well, where I come from, and as a scientist and as a farmer, what I would say is, you ain't going home to dinner forever. The pigs are going to eat good, and we got a car we got to sell for parts. We don't put up with this, and that's the most important thing. Don't put up with it. Say no. Be rude if you need to. What else did I see in 2025? I remember this one. A whole bunch of floozies went up in a spaceship that looked like a vibrator. Didn't have to touch so much as a single damn switch because it was totally automated, and came back down and called themselves astronauts. Oh, I'm sorry. One of them is the wife of the guy who owns Amazon. If you didn't see, there was another lady and her friends that went up on the Vomit Comet and did a parody of all this. Funnier than watching, what's her face? Kathy Perry, I think, come down with a flower. Who's she dating now? Justin Trudeau, right? Horse shit is what my mother would say. Let's see. What else do I remember about 2025? I remember a congresswoman punching people in a ICE facility and then begging for money. Strangely enough, McKeever, I don't know. Some big black chick just hauled off and hit somebody. And I remember that the mayor of Newark, and I know this name, Ras Baraka, he did the same damn thing. And somehow worked with the police and somehow got let go on his own recognizance, and they still got a tour of this federal facility. It's Newark. They're black. It's corrupt. It's like Camden or Trenton or New Brunswick or Piscataway. How do I know? I was there. I've been there. Because if it was a white guy that would have punched that, forget it. He would be in the ER with a broken arm, and he would be facing federal charges, and he'd probably be in jail by now. Angry enough yet? Let's see. There seems to be an ideology coming out of the cat box of the world that seems to be creeping in and owning everything. Minneapolis. And yeah, the daycare thing, I saw that. Dearborn. Places in New York. Places in Texas. How is this happening? How is this happening? How? I remember sending doctors, nurses, medical students, administrators off on helicopters on 9/11. Terrified. I just wanted to get home to my wife and my infant daughter. And still had to maintain the whole facility with my boss. Could not go home and watch them leave. And I remember standing there holding hands with everybody going, we won't forget. We will never forget. And this morning, the communist Islamic mayor of New York City took his oath of office on a Quran. I thought we weren't going to forget. What happened? Did we all just magically forget? No. Tolerance, acceptance, just all of that. Terrifying. At some point in time, the clock's going to swing back, and it's just going to have to get put down. It's wrong. It doesn't work. I do remember seeing the whole Leering Center, which I thought was hysterical. I thought that was funny. And, now it's all, everybody, this feces installed in Minnesota is now threatening everybody because they got exposed for lying and cheating and stealing. We're being too nice. Just stop. Let's see. What else did I see? Again, anything on the mainstream news thing is just trash. It's just garbage. And, when these nobodies that we've never heard of are doing better exposure and journalistic work, why are we watching this? We shouldn't. You should turn it off. It's garbage. It's propaganda. Just turn it off. Let's see. Gas prices, I've noticed, have come down. That's cool. Beef prices going up. Not cool. Bodie and I like beef. Chickens kind of staying the same. We talked about precious metals. What else did I see this year? A lot of people talking around questions and not answering questions. when I was a wee lad in science class, in biology, in chemistry, if my professor popped me a question, I better answer it. I better not answer a question in my head, or I better not answer a question around the corner to the question, or completely deflect and change the subject. Because they would either do one of two things: kick me out of the lecture hall or funk me. Out. Out and see, you're done. Why we can't install that now doesn't make any sense. Let's see. No, that's about it. Those are the things. Those are the big things I remember. And everything is weak, gay, lame, and fake. It really is. It really is. What do I think 2026 is going to hold? All of this plus more violence. I think we're going to see more of these individuals that are just trying to stop the process. And this is pretty common. I've read stuff from the Frankfurt School. I've read the Fabian Society. I've read all of that. I see it. The object is it's called Cloward Piven. Overwhelm the system until it's paralyzed and can't function. Okay. And then have some authority of your choice install heavier rules on top of everybody. What they don't realize is that when they install those rules, the people that are creating the problem think they're exempt. And then when they're not, they go, oh my God, what did we do? Well, you didn't listen is what you didn't do. Duh. I see more violence from ideologies. And that is something I should have said for 2025. I've noticed that a lot of people are noticing. They're starting to see what an ideology out of the cat box on the planet for 6,000 years has done to everything. And now they're noticing and talking about it. And they're being told, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Because they're going to lose their power and their control. The youngest ideology out of that world's cat box is the ones that are creating all of the violence. Submit or die. We're going to fleece you for everything you have. And the one in the middle, apparently around the world, is getting slaughtered. Who knew it? The one guy who said, be nice to everybody, got nailed to 2 pieces of wood. Or, on September 10th, got shot in the head. What a great 2025, huh? The more I see this, as much as, we want to work, we want to contribute, we want to make money, the more it says, I'm going, I got to get out of here, I got to get out of here, I got to get out of here. I don't think there's a way to win. I really don't. I think that the only thing we can do is now rearm, buckle up, and protect ourselves. I think ultimately it's not going to be we're going to go invade Venezuela. I think it's going to be man to man, fist to face, knee to groin, shotgun to head. I think that ultimately, if this keeps up and nobody's going to do anything about this situation in 2026, what you're going to do is you're going to see 1,000 Paul Reveres come out of the woodwork. They're going to come out from behind a tree, a rock, a fence, and it's going to be man to man, fist to face, knee to groin, don't shoot TC the whites of the rise, and that's the end of that. And then they're going to get blamed for that. They're going to try to arrest him and everything else. But when the black guy stabs the white chick and kills her on the subway, nobody does anything. Everybody goes away. Last thing I'll say about this. I learned a new word the other day. The word is zettabyte. Now, we've learned a couple of new words this year. Taqiyya, we've learned that. That is the Islam tradition of being able to lie to anybody that's not of the faith to advance the cause. And Izzat, that's the Indian term for if I do you a favor, now you owe me forever. Which is why Canada now looks like Mumbai. Okay? The entire country of Canada at this point is press 1 to speak English, press 2 for customer service. Fine. It's what they wanted. Give it to them. The word zettabyte, however, is a science term. I know, a science guy, right? It is a 1 with 21 zeros after it. So 1 to the power of 21 bytes. Data. Okay? Now, why do I say this? Every time I see anybody doing anything, they're not doing anything. They're not standing up. They're not defending themselves. They have a camera in their hands and they're recording everything. All of this data goes up into some storage cloud. AWS or Apple or something, goes all the way out there. This data, zettabytes of data of people recording them misbehaving, other people misbehaving, recording horrible crimes instead of actually stepping in and solving them or doing something about it. All this data is useless. Absolutely useless. It doesn't go anywhere. It's not going to advance a cause. It's nothing. Now, the propagandists will probably want to try to get these pictures and cut them up and assemble them in a manner to, move their idea away. I just think it's useless. If you see an old lady being punched, are you going to record it? Are you going to walk away from it? Or are you going to do something about it? Reminder, if you do something about it, hey, especially if your skin looks like mine and your gender is mine, you're going to get blamed. You're going to get blamed. The cost of doing the right thing in a second world country is you get punished for it. This is a feature and not a bug of communism. Okay? I just don't want to get involved. It was your grandmother being pummeled to the floor. I just didn't want to get involved. Because they don't want to get blamed. They don't want the process to be the punishment. And they don't want to lose everything for doing the correct and moral thing. Again, a feature, not a bug of communism. Make everybody afraid. And make everybody separate. So, this is what I saw in 2025. Beyond Bodhi. Bodhi's wonderful. I think that in 2026, we're going to see a lot more of the same. I think we're going to see cities burning again. 2025, remember? Go into a store. Steal everything. While everybody holds their useless cameras up. And the police don't stop you. And if you do stop them at the door and go, hey, whoa, you're not stealing anything, the store manager gets arrested. What? No. Arrest the thief, not the owner. Not happening. I think if the 2026 continues on its downward decline, we're going to see a lot more Turkish haircutting places, smoke shops, fake daycare centers. What else are we going to see? Ghost companies, shell companies. A building in a like a retail plaza, like a mini mall, with painted up doors with a sign on, does nothing, goes nowhere. It's acting as a money laundering item. Again, this is second world, third world country kind of stuff. And I think that in 2026, what we're going to see is we're going to see America move from a second world country directly into a third world country. Low IQ, low trust, no morals, and you want to victimize and harass the people that do have high trust and high morals. I don't think we're going to get to 250 years of America. I think we're going to get to thinking about 250 years of America, because I don't think we have enough Paul Revere's out there. We have too many Neville Chamberlains. So I want to have good hopes for 2026. I want to have great hopes for 2026. I want to know that Kerry is comfortable and safe and can just bring me home. Okay. And I just look at myself in the mirror and I go, be reasonable with yourself, Hoff. You know this shit's not going to happen. Until somebody stands up. And I mean a lot of people stand up. I believe that the number was, what was the number in the American Revolution? Bodie, help me. How many people in the American Revolution were for the cause and the other side were just complacent or for the... 3%. 3%. I saw footage of people in Iran completely trying to turn over their government. People in France trying to turn over their government. Okay? They only need 3%. The problem is that they need that 3% to go, oh, hell no. Let's not be peaceful. I still think all you got to do for places like Chicago and Los Angeles, right? Just somebody just has to go up and grab the mayor, grab the governor, pull them out of their chair, drag them into the street, strip them naked, and just tell the rest of the citizenry, go at it. You're fine. Here's your game. Solve the problem in about 8 minutes. Sure would. I mean, one of my favorite stories in history, President Andrew Jackson, you know, because remember, I'm in Florida. He was a big guy around here. He was known for sitting down when he was a congressperson and as a president, and if somebody yappity, feelings, after a certain point in time, he would get up, walk right up on that dais, beat the ever-loving out of the guy with his cane and go, we don't have time for this nonsense. We have to do. And grab them and throw them in the street. We might need to get back to that. It's the equivalent of my mother going, what did you say? What did you say? And if you did it and you kept going, my mother gave you a massive backhand, dropped you to the floor and go, yeah, I didn't think you said that. You're not going to say it again. And you're grounded for a week. Okay, really, we got to think about this. We need parents in the room. My hope for 2026 is the parents come home. Bombing drug boats is certainly a parent thing. Now we need to see more aggressive action on stopping these cities that are run like violent daycares. We need to see a lot more effort on managing pricing. And the only way to manage pricing, from houses to gasoline to beef prices and everything else, is to remove the dead weight. We have to get rid of the things that aren't supposed to be here, and then make all of the things that are supposed to be here have a much more affordable and much more positive experience. If I'm not fighting animals for cans of beans that the government is paying them to buy, but I have to buy it myself, we're all going to eat tonight. Okay, it just has to stop. And unfortunately, it's gotten to the point that I think that in 2026, if it doesn't stop, what's going to happen is people like me, maybe like you, are going to adopt an accelerationist process, which is, if the people that we're choosing to do these things to represent us aren't doing anything to represent us, burn the damn thing down. That's why I don't think we're going to get to our 250th anniversary. I'll see you on July 4th. Let's see if I'm right or wrong. That is a perfectly reasonable item. We have a group of people that go, I can't get what I want, so I will burn the world to ashes to rule over them, because it's easier than building something and then yell at you for making me set the fire. And a whole bunch of other people on this side going, maybe the experiment's over. Burn it down, level it out, let's just start over. We built it before, we can build it again. This side doesn't want to build anything because they don't know how. And this side wants to build everything because they do. So I don't have a real hopeful message for 2026. I have a more, don't be Neville Chamberlain, be Paul Revere. You see somebody misbehaving, take the answer in your own hands. I've always said it. Don't let will to act be the highest hurdle. You see somebody wailing and screaming at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the Wawa, grab them by the goddamn neck and throw them out of the building. They don't belong there. If you see somebody misbehaving in a grocery store, another fun thing. Get next to them and tell them to leave. And if they don't, assist them mildly. And if they don't want to be assisted mildly, assist them forcefully. Stealing is a second world, third world, fourth world concept, because there are no morals or values or any consideration for your fellow man. It's a hooray for me and F you move. It's not a high trust society. I see too much not being able to perform the job and being given a pass because of it. Or the other end, which I think is awful. We don't expect you to do a good job, but you come cheap. You're hired. This is not a sustainable society component. So, because I've already gone almost 40 minutes, whoa, it's probably one of the longest videos I've ever done that's not a driving video. I want you guys to have a great 2026. I really do. Please, if you have to go anywhere, ladies, go as a group. You're going to hear me say this over and again. Go as a group. Mind your kids. Keep your head out of your damn phone. Get in, get out. Gentlemen, same thing. Go as a group if you can. Get in and out of there. Essentials, not luxuries. And just Move as fast as you can. Ladies and gentlemen, take some form of protection. Whatever that means to you is what that means to you. And don't let the will to act be the highest hurdle. There are people out there now, and I'm not going to say, oh, there's this. No, I was being nice before. Now I'm going to say, nobody likes us. Most aren't supposed to be here. And they will kill you for what you have. They think they deserve it. They didn't earn it. And the government is giving them free crap and giving you the bill. Don't let it happen. Take care of you and yours. Other than that, like I said, you guys know what to do. I'm going to go and let the boy go potty because it's about that time of day. And once I have an update on some real estate stuff and I have an update on some job stuff, you'll be the second to know. And as always, it's all good and groovy. Carrie, if you're listening, just bring me home. Let me die. Take care of Bodie. That is about the biggest wish I can have for 2026. Just, Carrie, bring me home. Let me die. Take care of my dogs. And it'll all be okay. Kind of dark. Still kind of positive. Happy New Year's.